little show for you today. We have two fashion bloggers. So between these two lifestyle powerhouses, these ladies over here have 100,000 Instagram followers.
Yay.
Just on Instagram, 100,000 followers. So thank you for being here, Lauren Gill of Lifestyles by Lauren, and Courtney Seaman of Court and Kelly and Mimosas in Manhattan. That's two blogs, right?
So on Instagram, we're Court and Kelly, and then our website is mimosasinmanhattan.com.
Oh my gosh.
It's confusing.
How do you guys even keep track? Wait. First, let's start from the beginning. How do we even get to this point?
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, take it off.
So
You're
I
on,
will say,
Courtney.
I actually just told this story today to somebody. So me and my cousin were interning here in New York. We were both unpaid. You know how that goes. And
I do. I do.
So we were posting everything. At the time, Facebook was still pretty big. This was in 2013. And somebody was like, you know what, you guys should just start a blog. So we, I think that night, bought the domain mimosasinmanhattan.com, and we fully started just on our website. And then from there, you know, I think, you know, we both went back to college, and Instagram became really popular. So around 2015 was when we jumped on Instagram, and it kind of just grew once we both lived in New York together. So I moved here in May of 2015. So it's all really exciting.
So you guys are having Mimosas in Manhattan, but your cousin is in LA?
So we were in Manhattan together for 3 years. And then she got a job offer. She works in PR full time for Small Girls PR. And she got a job offer on the West Coast, and it was something that was just too good to pass up. So that was about a year ago. So we're now kind of doing the bi-coastal thing, and that's been about as I said, a year. But it's been fun. It's like a nice transition, and we still cover New York. We do a lot of like East Coast versus West Coast, like what the difference between guys like on the East Coast, guys on the West Coast, which has been really
the
fun.
difference?
Well, we figured out that in New York, guys are more likely to talk to you than in LA. Because my cousin said she never gets hit on in LA.
Oh my god!
Like guys just, and she's like, I don't know, am I like ugly here? But she's like blonde and like, I know, but she's like blonde, so she doesn't know. But then in New York, I think guys are a little bit more, they want to show their money and their wealth. That would be another difference. Like if they have it, which at our age, not many do.
She would have no problem walking down the streets, getting catcalled, harassed,
I know.
everything.
Yeah, I mean, I think she still does, but it's like not as intense there as it is here. Yeah.
There's so much rivalry between LA and New York. And,
Yeah. At first, I think, you know, it's hard because New York is such a hustle and bustle, and it is a lot. And I think when she transitioned to LA, she was like, wait, people aren't going to million miles an hour. They're, you know, going to yoga and taking an actual lunch break. So I think work-life balance-wise, she's a lot happier in LA. But yeah.
Very cool. So Lauren, tell me how you got started.
Yeah, for sure. So mine actually started kind of the opposite way, where I was starting to post outfit pictures on my personal Instagram, and this is when I was in college. And I decided that my guy friends were probably getting sick of it. My friends didn't want to see all of that content, and I really liked making a pretty feed and taking pictures of cute coffee shops and food and beauty and things that just inspired me. So then I actually made my Instagram, and it started off as My Life as Lore, and that was my first Instagram back in the day.
Yeah.
So I made that first, and once that kind of started taking off, I was getting brands asking me, oh, can we be featured on your Instagram and your website?
Wow.
And I didn't have one at the time, and that's when I decided, okay, I love writing. I was a marketing and journalism major, and I was like, I might as well be writing about things I like about, so I started the blog then, and then about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, I switched over my name to Lifestyles by Lauren to kind of encompass more than just my life, but other people that I'm meeting, interviewing girl bosses, friends who are doing amazing things, businesses around the city, and just kind of switched it into that.
Oh wow, very cool. So has
Yeah.
fashion been in your DNA, or is it just outfits and then it kind of morphed into what it is now?
I would say I've always loved fashion. I was definitely that little girl dressing up all the time. I always played dress up. I was a dancer too, so I was obsessed with the sparkly costumes and always
Yes.
having hair and makeup done for that. So I've been doing my own makeup and hair since like 3rd grade,
Oh my
which is
goodness.
crazy, but
That's
those fake
amazing.
eyelashes, right? Stage makeup.
I think I still fuss with the fake lashes. I'm just like, stay right there.
I can't do them now. I think I was better then. But
Oh.
so I've just loved fashion. I worked at Nordstrom and Madewell when I was in high school and college. So it's just kind of always been a part of my life.
Very cool. And
Yeah.
your website, I was I'm one of those lurkers on your website, but you have a lot of really interesting content, and the fact that it's very simple. I noticed that it's simple and chic or something like that.
Yeah,
Simple.
yeah.
And I read through about 6 different articles, and I was wondering, how is this website different from what I'm accustomed to? And I noticed that the articles are shorter, and stuff is like very precise and very directed towards like the season and the holidays. So tell me
definitely.
what inspires your I guess what's your inspiration for keeping it short and simple?
For sure. That's definitely being concise is something that I learned in journalism. You can't really keep the focus of people for a long time.
No.
So I only try to write about things that I'm actually inspired by or interested in. And then I get a lot of my ideas for blog articles from my audience and my followers. So whenever they message me or ask me questions, if I get kind of more than one or I ask them for feedback and I see a trend happening, then I'll decide to write an article on that. But I also work full-time and I do social media and PR full-time. So a lot of times I'm like, I'm not going to write just to write because I need to optimize my free time and only really focus on what's important.
It is extremely time-consuming. Courtney, is this a full-time job for you, or is it?
Yeah, so when I moved here in 2015, I was working for Macy's in product development for 3 years. And then I left Macy's in 2018, and so I've been full-time since then. So it's been like about a year and 2 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because in order to have like a blog these days, it has to be full-time. You have to dedicate all of your waking hours to contributing.
Yeah.
How do you guys stay motivated?
Do you want to go?
I know you just said inspiration, but how do you like wake up every morning and think, oh, okay, going again?
It can definitely be grueling at times, especially because so many people are doing it, and there's a lot of competition, which can be hard. So I think for me, something that I've learned is I definitely have to like put blinders on and fully, kind of not think about everybody else and keep on my path and stay motivated for what my goals are. And I think we're running businesses here, and so that's a huge motivation for me, and like growing the business, maybe growing into like different realms of. A lot of girls are starting brands now, so maybe jumping out and doing something like that and having something that I could actually sell. So that's really a huge motivation and why it's like I want to keep going and getting better and better and better.
So what would you say sets you apart from most of the other fashion blogs?
I think that having the two of us, even though Kelly is on the West Coast, which I do think helps, it kind of gives us a little niche within the realm. It's like, we can bring both of our personalities, both of our styles, and we see each other every month because she's out in LA a lot for her full-time job. She's also does it on the side. And so we can, live our own lives and show how they're similar yet different, but then be together and create content. And, I think when we're together, we're at our best. But I do think it sets us apart that we can bring both different lifestyles into it.
Yeah, you guys can like tag team and just kind of like alleviate the pressure.
It definitely helps having two people. And when I've talked to other girls that run their blogs, it's like a duo blog, as we call it.
A duo blog?
Duo blogs. Or if they run them with their husbands, it really, really helps having a second person. Because especially on our website, because I can write, like we can push out 2 to 3 articles a week. Because she can write something, I can write something. We can go on and off. That helps a lot.
Yeah. So Lauren, you have actually a unique concept to your website. What is it that you added a shopping component, right? So tell us about that.
So on my website, a lot of us bloggers use like to know it and reward style. So I kind of section mine off where they can shop from my Instagram directly. So any outfits or fashion, things that they've seen on my stories, on my feed, any style, any home decor, they can shop there. And then I also have curated pages. So I have beauty, I have home, and then I have another fashion page with like sales, things I'm loving, things that I think that they would like, and I kind of update that either every other day or weekly, depending on the week. But
that's a lot of updating.
Yeah.
So I did see a mug on there from Target, a fall decor mug. So how do you source all of your products?
Yeah, so I have certain shops that I go to. I would say Target is definitely one of my home decor spots, and I just
get lost in there.
It's so cute, but always online.
I know.
I know. So honestly, I'll just go online and search for what I'm looking for. So at the end of September, I wanted to decorate my apartment, and I found that Target had a lot, so I just kind of made a whole blog post around that. I also featured some other retailers, but the Target mugs are killing it this year.
Yeah, they are. She had like mugs, pillows, blank.
All the different sections,
Everything.
Some reeds.
Everything. Anything to kind of like upgrade your home or your room or anything like that. So, Courtney, how do you keep your website fresh? What makes you continue to post and post?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, like right now, I've been doing Halloween, so I've featured like 3 really easy Halloween costumes to.
I did, the Bud Lightyear.
Yeah,
I saw that, I loved it.
Thank you. Yeah, so Halloween, I've been focusing on, and then Kelly's been more so focusing on, she does a lot more beauty than I do, which is like, she's more interested in that than I am. So she did like an FAQ on Botox, her skincare routine, so things like that. So this is so bad to say, and it's like a bad blogger thing, but we don't keep an editorial calendar. I know a lot of people do, but we try to, like, if something pops up in the moment, we plan and organize, but if there's something in our lives, especially, we try to write a lot of personal pieces or things that are happening, we want to write about them now. So I think that's in a way how we try to keep things fresh. We try to stay as organized as possible, but I feel like sometimes with editorial calendars, I can get bogged down and not write about something I may really want to because I have to do X,
your true
Y, and Z.
inspiration, like Lauren. Yeah, because it gets hard.
Yeah.
But I've seen vloggers ask their audience, hey, do you have any questions for us? Is there something you want us to talk about? Like, how do you kind of vet who comes on or what kind of subjects you choose? And do you always just strictly do 100% inspiration, or do you go by what people ask you, or like how to?
So a lot of times it'll be what people ask me, and that helps with the inspiration.
Yeah,
so,
that's true.
And I feel like a lot of my followers are looking for similar things. So for example, last week I asked the question, what are you shopping for right now? What can I help you with? And so many people were like, boots under $100. I want petite jackets. I want this. Exactly, which is really helpful too.
That is helpful.
Yeah.
I would have just written boots.
Right? I would be like, I don't know, just rework my wardrobe, please. Like,
anything.
And that gets pretty difficult.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's really helpful with curating the content.
Courtney, on your website, you had advice actually on there about how to truly network. And I thought that was a little different too.
Yeah.
It was an article about how to, when you have a coffee networking special, like when you have a coffee networking event with someone who you really admire, maybe you want a professional contact with, like what to say, what not to say, how to show up prepared. How did that come about?
Well, so Kelly wrote that one, but it really, me and her talked about it because it's like, we get asked a lot, can I pick your brain? Or, you know, that question. And there's a different way I think you can go about it. You know, that question can really irk people. Especially, you know, I worked in product development, Kelly worked in PR, so we get those questions on the professional side too, which I'm sure everybody, I mean, all of us do that are sitting up here. And so we wanted to give like other ways to go about that than just asking that question, because I know that can be a huge turnoff, or somebody's just not going to answer your email. And I actually read today another article that was saying, you can, why not see what they need, they could do better. So they had this girl, she went and proofread this girl's whole entire blog and was like, I could be a copy editor for you. These are the mistakes that you made in your last post. And the girl loved that, and she hired her on the spot because she was like, you came to me with something that you didn't do, that you saw I didn't do well, and you told me how it could be better.
And so she actually did her research.
Yeah, and
that
did
was
her
like
research.
one of the main points on there. Do your research before you show up.
Before you show up, and I think from our experiences, I thought that we both thought that'd just be a great article to share, especially because I think with our audience, they're a little bit younger. So, you know, they're probably early 20s and trying to navigate their first job. So it's good advice no matter what.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have, Lauren, for your target audience?
Yeah, I would say I have a lot of younger people too who are in college. They actually ask me about internships. They like that I work full time too, and they're like, oh my gosh, how do you balance your side hustle and working full time? So
it's hard.
I know. Similar to Courtney, one of my biggest tips is networking. I got my internships and my first job through connections and meeting people. I always say, if you're at an event or you're anywhere really, you're at a coffee shop, whatever, you could bump into someone and never know what they do. And I always say with networking, try to give something back, not just take from the person. So it's always kind of tough when people reach out to you and they're like, hi, can I work at your company, or can I do this? Blah, blah, blah. Which of course I want to help, and it's hard in New York, especially I'm not from here originally, so networking is really how you get started, but just kind of being really tenacious and going after what you want, but also being respectful and realizing that these people have lives and full-time jobs and they do want to help you, but you have to go about it in the right way.
Yeah.
I agree with that. It's so true. Yeah, it's about how you go about it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. So the pictures that you both post look like they're shot by professionals. Is that what's happening here, or?
My boyfriend would be very happy about that.
Good job, boyfriend.
I know. I force him sometimes, but I buy him brunch after, so.
Yeah, that's so funny.
There's always some incentive.
Exactly. It depends on the photo for me. So sometimes I'll shoot with a photographer. I have a girl named Gabby who's amazing, but she does travel a lot because she is amazing. So when she's in town, I try to shoot with her. Other times I'll shoot with blogger friends, and we honestly just take iPhone photos. I do have a nice camera, but the phones are so much easier now. And I feel like it resonates more with our audience.
Yeah, and you don't have to trek around
the camera, the tripod, everything.
I think friends in doing what we're doing, like I'm the exact same way. Me and my friend will just, who also is a blogger, we'll just go out and shoot. We'll each bring like 3 outfits. And you'll just crank
work
them
with
out.
each other.
Yeah, because then you don't have to pay a photographer. It saves money. You can collaborate together. And I think you're at a comfort level, especially if you're somebody that you're really close with. You're probably going to do crazier poses. And,
but they know when you look good and when you're going to be like, I don't like that picture.
Yeah, they get it.
On the
angle.
Okay.
I know.
There are some people who take pictures and you're just like, what were you thinking?
Oh, I've gotten like down on the ground for my I have like gotten like laying on the ground and shooting up.
But they'll do it for you too, so it works.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think there's like a fine line with someone taking pictures for you and someone actually caring like how it looks in the end.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree.
Definitely very professional level.
Yeah,
so.
it's tough.
Yeah.
Especially in New York because it's so crowded everywhere.
Everywhere.
And like, have you changed on the streets before? I'm sure. Like you just have to get creative with like wearing a tank top and like putting a dress over your tank and taking your pants off below, and it's tough. And people look at you. Oh my gosh, yeah. Really though.
You have to really be like Clark Kent style.
Exactly. Like you really have to be strategic with planning out your outfits and when and where you're shooting. So it's always interesting.
It is.
So what are some challenges besides changing in a phone booth with creating content?
I would say just trying to come up with new ideas and stay different because there are so many people out there, and just also staying true to yourself. I try not to kind of follow trends that I wouldn't personally do just because they're popular. And I feel like it can be hard to kind of not get sucked into that, oh, well, everyone's wearing dad sneaks, I need to wear dad sneaks, and just like staying true to yourself with that.
It's so tough because everyone is wearing dad sneakers.
I know. And like, I just can't pull them off. I'm too short.
Oh my gosh. And then there's like the animal print these days, so it's everywhere. So you think, oh my gosh, I need a tiger, I need a leopard, I need I need that. So it's really hard to like stay, like you said, stay true.
Yeah.
How about you, Courtney? Do you have issues with that?
I think that's a great point, especially with so I feel like there's trends that go on Instagram. Like right now, the minimalism trend. So which is really, for those who might not know, it's like literally wearing white, black, or any sort of nude, and then having a solid background or just having like a white. And I think that it works for some people, and not using presets or not filtering, which I think that's a great thing, you know. But if you like editing and you like being creative and you like creating presets, I hope that nobody loses that part of themselves. And I think for us, we like doing that stuff, and I don't want to change who we are because of a trend, which is super important. And within the world of like your original question about creating content, you do have to remain relevant, but you don't want to lose your audience while doing that.
It can be really tough too, because you want to be creative, but you want to appeal to your audience. You want to appeal to like a wider. You want to get new followers, and it's tough too. It's tough. Where do you see your fashion blogs years from now? Maybe 5 years from now.
5 years, wow.
Like 2020 or 20,
the ultimate goal one day is to be a mommy blogger.
Yes.
But definitely not in 5 years.
Yeah,
so
no,
we're going to wait a little longer. But
yeah.
I just love being a content creator because it's something that you can do from anywhere. And honestly, it doesn't matter how old you are because your followers are almost growing up with you. So I do love working full time, and I plan to kind of still work full time and just keep creating content as I'm inspired. So
I think that's a great point, because I would never never want to stop doing what I'm doing. Like even if everybody's always like the bubble's gonna burst, but I mean, if it does, it does, and that is pressure, especially with doing this full time. But I feel like I set myself up in, you know, I worked at Macy's. I have a career background, so I don't think I'd be like, people, you know, people like to be dramatic. I'm not going to be screwed. I'll be fine. But I will always do this, no matter if there's money involved within the industry or not. It's just a part of, you know, Kelly and I talk about this all the time. It's a part of who we are. And, you know, being a mommy blogger would be awesome too.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't wait for those days. Just like relaxing in my nice suburban home with the dogs and the kids.
I agree.
One day.
Yeah.
Very nice. Thank you both ladies for being here. One more thing before we go. What's your favorite part about creating this content?
Getting to try new things. Definitely. Exploring this city, New York, obviously, traveling, taking pictures, going to restaurants, just all of it.
Just exploring.
Exactly.
Are you going to be in New York for the long haul? Is that what you mean? Or?
I don't know forever, but definitely right now the city is the place to be for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think my favorite part, it's been just meeting really cool people, people I would have never, ever met if I wasn't doing this, and friendships and all of that. It's been really great. Yeah, I wouldn't know, doing this full time, you don't have coworkers, and I really missed that when I left Macy's. So it's kind of that support system I've been able to build of other girls that are doing this full time and other friends. So that's been super important to keep me sane, because otherwise I would not be.
Thank you both ladies for being here.
Yeah,
Definitely
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Definitely want to kick off 2020 with you guys coming back.
Ooh,
so we will
yes,
be
let's
in
do it.
contact. So let everyone know where they can find you on social media.
Yeah.
You can follow me at Courtney Kelly on Instagram, and then our website is mimosasinmanhattan.com.
And I'm at Lifestyles by Lauren on Instagram and lifestylesbylauren.com.
So there you have it, folks. And thank you for watching us on MNN. Thank you for watching us on YouTube. And remember to subscribe. Hit the little bell in the upper right-hand corner of your screen so you're up to speed on our latest episodes. Thanks again, guys, and see you next time on Celebrity Catwalk.
Yay. Bye. Bye.